8 on Your Side has a crime tracker alert in Lakeland where police need your help to track down a robber. Take a look at the surveillance pictures of the robbery. Investigators say this man walked into the Lakeland Food Mart on Massachusetts Avenue on Sunday and robbed the place. From these pictures, it's unclear whether he was armed. Officers say he's in his mid-30s, under 6 feet tall, and weighs up to 210 pounds. If you recognize him, call Crime Stoppers. The number's on your screen. It's 1-800-226-TIPS. Again, 1-800-226-8477. You may be eligible for a cash reward.
A Central Florida woman was attacked by an alligator after she fell into a canal. She lost her arm in that attack, but officials said she is going to recover after having emergency surgery. A neighbor said he was walking by when that canal near that area when he actually heard the woman's cries and he ran to get help. This is video of an alligator that a trapper captured and killed yesterday. Now, it is going to be tested to see if it's actually the animal that bit the woman. Here's a story that will anger a lot of you, including, of course, horse lovers. The M. Wells Diner in New York City opens today, and it's going to serve horse meat. Customers will have a chance to try horse tartare, or raw horse meat imported from Canada. Last year, Congress lifted a ban on the slaughter of horses in the United States.
Tense moments for passengers on a United Airlines flight from Chicago to Southern California this week. It's all taking place in that group of people toward the front of the plane that you see right there. A man apparently began pacing around the cabin, grabbing women and harassing people. Fellow passengers jumped into action and restrained the man with a belt. The flight landed safely. No one on board was hurt. Even President Barack Obama sometimes suffers travel delays. Air Force One had to abort a landing in Ohio due to weather conditions yesterday. You can see how cloudy it is as the plane approaches, then pulls back up to circle again. The Boeing 747 was able to land safely on its second attempt. Take a look at this video of a truck exploding in Washington State. State troopers say a road construction truck that was laying down adhesive for lane markers and reflectors caught fire last week. The truck was carrying a large propane tank which blew up. Luckily, no one was injured.
Fortunately, we do not have this morning any vehicles that are on fire, but we do have some accidents out there that are pretty serious. We've got this one still working, folks, northbound US 301 south of Bloomingdale, right at Duncan. We've got lanes blocked here, so allow for extra time if you're coming through Riverview and you're used to taking 301 northbound. I'm going to suggest taking I-75 as an alternate. It's right by it right now. No delays on I-75, especially as you move north into the Brandon area. Let's move up now a little bit further to the north. We've got an injury accident. This is located right at Morris Bridge in the on-ramp to southbound I-75. If you're wondering, Morris Bridge, there's an on-ramp there. Well, it turns into Fletcher. That's where that's located. Let's take a look at our cameras right now. I actually want to show you 275, and this is right as you come through Martin Luther King. That's the off-ramp there. You can see the southbound traffic is definitely getting busier on 275 versus northbound. That continues into downtown Tampa. So let's go back to the maps now. We've also got an accident out here. This is westbound I-4 right at the junction of 275, but we're not seeing any delays. It's off to the shoulder where we're seeing some slowdowns as I back up here. Look, 28 miles per hour. That's eastbound. That's people actually exiting onto 21st and into Ybor City. Let's pull out the cameras now. I want to take a quick look here at the junction. This is southbound on 275, getting a little bit busier as well as northbound, but overall traffic still moving at decent speed. You just slow down a bit eastbound through Ybor City on I-4. If you happen to use Twitter, I'd love to hear from you at Leslie Lacey on Twitter. I'll keep you updated on your morning commute. Now let's turn things over to Lee Spann.
Well, officially, the sun rises this morning at 7:21, but it's starting to brighten up a little bit out there this morning. This is the way it looks from the St. Leo University camera. Past couple of mornings, we've had some cloud cover. Looks like that's not the case this time. 72 degrees at this location in Pasco County with north winds at 4 miles per hour. It is also not as cool this morning with a little more moisture. It's a little bit warmer. You'll feel it. 76 degrees at 9 a.m., partly cloudy, and 85 degrees by your lunchtime. And then 89 degrees at 3 p.m. And while that seems warm and while that seems a little bit humid, it's actually pretty close to seasonal levels. Earlier in the week, we had that nice little brush with fall-like temperatures, but end of September for us really here in the Bay Area is still summer-like weather, which is why we have that 30% chance of isolated rain this afternoon. Bartow, as you step out the door right now, you're at 73. Crystal River's at 68. Clearwater's at 76, again, a little more mild than yesterday, 72 in Ruskin, 72 right now in Venice as well. And again, the reason why it's a little bit warmer is because the dew points are a little bit higher. And when you get a higher dew point, it means more moisture is in the air. Earlier in the week, when it felt like fall, dew points were in the 50s. So now we've climbed up into the upper 60s to near 70 degrees. And we consider a 70-degree dew point where it starts to feel uncomfortable. So this is by no means August and July type humidity, but it's certainly higher than it was earlier in the week. Still talking about Nadine. In fact, it strengthened overnight. 60-mile-per-hour winds there as it just sort of circles around itself out in the Atlantic. We'll still be talking about Nadine next week, believe it or not. We do have a cold front stretching from New England all the way back to the middle of the country, which actually the Oklahoma area desperately needing some more rainfall, so that's good there. For us, notice the clear skies across our region, but a couple of high, thin clouds might be streaming in some parts throughout the morning hours. At the surface, winds coming from the east. That's going to pump in some Atlantic moisture. So here it is at 7 o'clock this evening, inland rain, and then that rain gets pushed toward the coast during the evening. And guess what? It's exactly the same tomorrow, about a 30% chance of afternoon storms and about a 30% chance on Saturday as well. East to northeast winds on the water today at 10 knots. Afternoon highs upper 80s to near 90 degrees. Similar again for Saturday, but then the rain chances go up 40% for Sunday, even 50% for Monday. So don't expect any brushes with fall anytime soon. It was nice while it lasted, but it was short.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks, Lee.
All right, Tampa's losing one of its most scantily clad sports teams. The Tampa Bay Breeze lingerie football squad is moving to Jacksonville. The MTV Network's Lingerie Football League says the move is because forum owners who also own the Tampa Bay Storm Arena Football League don't want to compete with the Lingerie League. The now Jacksonville Breeze will begin to play in the year 2013.
In Boston last night, the Rays' Carlos Pena hit a 2-run homer to give Tampa Bay the lead. Then the Rays go back-to-back. Here's Ben Francisco with a dinger 4-2 as the final make it 7 wins in a row for Tampa Bay. Looking at the wild card with just 7 games to play in the regular season, the Rays are still 3 back of Oakland.
6:51, more Bay Area headlines coming up in just a moment.
You're watching News Channel 8 today.